Good morning. Stone Temple Pilots, remember them? Interstate Highway Love Song. All right, we got the Stone Temple Pilots. Okay, the Mafia murder menu. Try to do these things with these thumbnails and try to get your attention just to get more views and subscribers. And you got to put this shit in these thumbnails so you could get in the algorithm and get more views and subscribers. I'm not really seasoned at that, but I'm good enough to know that when you use Mike Franzese and Sammy the Bull Gravano, it draws your knuckleheads' attention. You know, ooh, Mike Franzese, Sammy the Bull Gravano. I know. They tell good stories, and that's fine. I got to piggyback them. They're hustlers. I'm a hustler. So I'll ride on their backs. So thank you for joining me, Mr. Swan. We're going up to 500, I think, if I don't get censored again or blocked. So come ride with me. Not a fancy studio here. What are you gonna? I'm a slurper, so be careful. If you don't like it, you know what to do. I'm not gonna swear. Hopefully not. I'm not gonna swear. This is a PG rated show. So the Mafia murder menu, everything else. Sometimes there's a price. Murder is free when there's just problems. Costs nothing. There's designated hitters. There's designated blasters. Bang. That it's their job description. It's quite obvious. You folks know all about it. And then there's sometimes when they outsource to real cerebral, smart, calculating killers. And my godfather was one of the best. And they, why would they hire somebody? Well, sometimes there's dirty hits and there's clean hits. You understand? There's just balls to the wall. When you see the guy somewhere, if you can find him, and then you blast him like a dirty hit. Or there's a more calculating, premeditated type of hit where the probabilities of witnesses, evidence, Mario Leon. And so there's more premeditated where you don't want evidence, witnesses, and any evidence that left behind. So a lot of times there might just be one small window of opportunity where the best chances of not being caught are available at that one point in time. And that's why I say there's veteran. That's why I say there's veteran. Excuse me. Robert B. That's why I say there's veteran killers, seasoned killers, and then there's killers for hire, and then there's just killers within the organization where you might be picked to kill someone in another family or kill somebody within your own family. So it's like the Joe viewer that's not really knowledgeable or informed on these things just might think, well, it's a rodeo, yeah, but like there's a method to the madness. There's a little method to the madness. I mean, they used to call it, well, they called it organized crime. Well, I used to look at it as disorganized crime because people got caught and arrested when they could have dodged with a little thinking, a little strategy. And so, You got the Brooklyn crew, you got the Bronx, you got this crew, that crew, and you got the Motley crew. Not the band, you got the Motley crew. Remember Motley Crue? So when you have that type of situation, now it's only speculative whether Mike Franzese actually killed someone. He says he got made on Halloween night or whatever. We're not going to debate that. Victor, Leon, Mario, Victor, these guys ride with me. This is my crew. I got my crew here. So everybody's got a crew. So Mike Franzese, I think he said somewhere he got made on Halloween night, or he did a murder, and then you don't need to commit a murder to get made. There'd be nobody left in the streets, There'd be nobody left in the streets when they tell you, you got to do a hit. All the associates that got made, thousands of associates that got made, you'd say, oh, you become a made member if you got to do a murder. Come on, Mike Franzese. Come on, man. Jeez. I'm trying to love you and everything, but damn, the viewers ain't that stupid, bro. Come on. You're getting a slurp for that shit. So whether he actually pulled a trigger on somebody or not is still speculative. I would say he didn't. I'd say Mike Franzese never murdered anybody in his life. He might have been in a conspiracy or some type of thing where, cat and mouse, you find out somebody's going to hit you, then maybe he took care of it with somebody else. Maybe not. Hypothetically speaking, if he was going to do it, my godfather did a lot of work for the Colombo family, and he wasn't a made man into the Colombo family, but he was open for anybody that wanted to hire him. I don't think, for some reason in my memory, that he didn't. The Genovese family, I don't think he rolled with them. For some reason in my mind, I don't know. There was another nutcase over there. There was some hardcore, well, in all the families, but Genovese was to me, the Genovese family was a different flavor of the other four families, just in my mind. And, but other than that, so Sammy the Bull claimed they have 37 murders. Then they indicted. Well, then he admit 19 murders, and then it's all entertainment. It's all entertainment, and you can't even trust the FBI documents. But so if you want to just say, we want to hire somebody there's people that owe money. There's people that are doing crazy things. So you gotta, violence is gonna make them behave and maybe pay up, pay what you owe. So they'd come to my godfather and say, well, Johnny's not keeping up. He's half a bad actor, just a regular guy, not in the mob. And we want you to do X, Y, or Z to him. Smash him up, bruise him up, or do whatever. And we'll pay you whatever, $1,000 or something. But if a guy owes 10,000, and then you want to pay somebody to rough them up, well, you gotta still have some wiggle room in there. You don't want to pay a guy 5,000 to rough up a guy that owes 10,000, because now do the math. So, but my godfather was a mild-mannered thinker, and I think what he tried to hide from me was this sadistic underlying behavior that he had. The way he could just not blink an eye and talk about some things, just like it was if you were talking about, did you see Derek Jeter hit that home run or something? Just so, or, the same demeanor. Like, and I don't know, his mind, he was very intelligent, and he just accepted that there's a crazy world out there, and people have their certain jobs, and people are firemen, factory workers, and you do what you do, and you accept it, and there's no emotionality connected to it. And I think a lot of people in the mob accepted that, where at first there's no emotionality. There's a job, you want to do your job well, and then you could get promoted or whatever, and hold down your job. So now say a guy owed 50,000, 75,000. Now he's in big with bookies, maybe another family. You owe 75,000, 100,000, and now a lot of times they say, oh, well, you want to make an example out of somebody and hit them. Well, dead men don't pay their gambling debts. They're dead. You can't get anything from a dead man. And they would say, oh, make an example out of them or something. And, but there's been some strong-armed people that went out to just rough somebody up, and then they just went nuts and killed them. That happens too. Excuse me, folks. This is unscripted, and I might have, that's good. So, it's all speculation on these mob channels. I got a little channel. I got my people that come in here and help me out. They support me and everything. And when you only get the narrative from like the big YouTube channels, and you want to dig down a little deeper, you come visit me. All right. I don't have a big production and all that bullshit, because then what are you supposed to do? Believe them just because they got big production value and all that? The music, the stereotypical gangster music and all that. And it's like, get the popcorn, honey. Ooh, 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 ooh. Nah, it's just little old me. And that's the way it's going to stay. If I ever got 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, this is how it's going to stay. I don't need all them bells and whistles and all that bullshit. And I even risk slurping and losing people on top of it. So, all right, let's just say we have the menu. What are you going to order? Well, I want either the rough up for 500, the scare tactic for 250. I want a couple broken bones for 2,000. I want a murder for 10,000. A murder without a body, 25,000. What will you have today? So there's a price on everything. And my godfather was going to shake a guy down in a high rise. And sometimes things don't go as planned. He knew the guy from the neighborhood, and he had access to the guy, so he could get in his presence without any problems. And he went to shake him up, and what happened after that? The guy died. And so what does the family say about that? Hey, Mike, hey, Mickey, what the hell? We just wanted you to rough him up and do this and that. We don't want to be connected to no homicide or murder or anything else. And he just tells them, shit happens. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Shit happens. What do you want from me? But come with the other half of that money. Come with the other half of that money. Because sometimes they'd give you half at first and then half later. So come with that money. But if now Mike Franzese is eliminated from any type of conversation or dialogue connected to those type of things. Like, where were you, Mike? Where were you? Where were you? The boss, the underboss, the captain, the capo, and everything else. Where were you? Where were you? We're not going to get into all that. But because Mike is a good man. Mike is a good man. Sammy the Bull Gravano, I'm not going to bash him. He did what he had to do, and that's that life. That's that life. Joe Schmo don't have no right to talk no shit about them. You're a product of your environment. Okay? We got smart people here. You're a product of your environment. So who's justified to say, oh, blah, 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 blah. Then the rat game, who ratted, do the rat, all that bullshit. But Mike Franzese was never visible, or if there was some big financial transaction that had to take place, it's in my book that they dead missed. It's in my book. You know. Sorry about that. I'm going to be going off to have a good day, and my buddy's calling me and everything else, and that's very rude. I don't have editing here. So, apologize, but it's important. It's important. I just lost all my views. I had 3. Okay. So, things go wrong, and we're not gonna debate things about Samuel Bull and Mike Franzese. And there's some other ones there, but the price that if a guy owes, now there were just high roller guys, New York City. There's wealthy people that love to gamble, and there's wealthy guys that get caught up. They go bad. They lose their wealth, and then they have to be addressed. And some owe 50,000, 75,000, 100,000. There's regular civilians. Then there's guys within the families that owe tons of money. So much degenerate gamblers in these crews, it's unbelievable. And so if my godfather has to take out or do something in effect to some, E.F. Hutton wealthy guy that went bad, and then he might do a little back door and say, hey, listen, this is the situation. I'm here to shake you down, possibly hurt you, possibly kill you. You can't run to the police because there'll be another guy after me. And if you run to the police, there'll be another guy after him. So let's figure this out. You give me some cash, beg, borrow, or steal. Number 1, you're never going to gamble again with this family. Number 2, you're never going to reveal this deal. and you owe $110,000. Come up with 50,000, and I'll go back to the family and make it go away. Whatever, in whatever ways and means, and I'll make it go away. I'll go back to the family and say, holy cow, uh, uh, I gained a little information, background. Well, his cousin, Jack, is with the FBI. We got, that's that. Make up some stuff and then just say, and if he went back to the people that hired him and he said it, they listened to him. So he could backdoor. Not that he was a scumbag hitman, but for the millions of dollars that those bosses had, for the tons of money they had, you got to get paid, whatever it takes. You're not going to be an honorable hitman and all that bullshit if somebody wants to say, oh, that's a fucking backdoor move or something like that. No. You got a little leverage and then make everybody happy. Everybody happy. Listen, those gambling rings, they weren't going to miss $100,000 or $50,000. They weren't going to miss it. They weren't going to miss it. No. And if my godfather said something to them pertaining to that, they usually accepted whatever word or strategy or whatever he said. He was highly respected. Nobody really was going to go against his strategies and his word and what he wanted to do. So that happened at different times. So, and that's just with a civilian. But now if he's got to go after a guy within the crew that is owed so much money everywhere else, then that's a little different story, because when they feel like they're going to get hit, the gangster has no more outs. He don't have the money. He's in that 100,000, 150,000. Now he knows violence or death is going to be coming at him, because the mafia families view that as a threat and a risk, because there's nowhere to hide but go to the FBI. So you gotta manage things and think about the things. So then they might they might pay murder on the menu to have him killed. And then dead men tell no truths, dead men tell no lies, dead men don't talk. And that's that. Sammy the Bull Gravano, well, if he did the murders, and he probably performed murders, but he probably ordered murders. When he was a street run, maybe he did some things. John Gotti, I would say, was more reckless than Sammy the Bull Gravano as far as violence and things like that. Who's capable? But murder's murder. It's not. But Mike Franzese, more or less, was the director. He was the director, boom, 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 and everything else. And maybe he could hire my godfather to keep things clear, keep things straight, and take care of his business. Because Mike Franzese is a thinker, and he don't want to be connected or associated to any types of violence or worse. So maybe he might just take a guy like my godfather and say, whatever, we have a problem. The toilet leaks and we need a plumber to fix the toilet. So, and he's the best plumber in the freaking city. So we're going to leave it at that. But murder on the menu, there's a lot of different prices. There's a lot of different things that can happen. And Leon, Mario, Victor, thank you for riding with me. And I'm going to be off to do some gambling myself. So not a lot. I don't have a lot of money. And God bless you all, and I'll check in with you guys next time. Thank you, folks.